Hi, my name is Madison Yen. This is my vlog, Branding Through Photography, and today we are talking about what the hell to take pictures of when you have no idea what to take pictures of. So, let's get started. Okay, so I would say as a business owner, one of the biggest frustrations that I have is trying to figure out the best way to promote my business. And a lot of times that's through social media. Okay, and you've heard it all, like you've got to be consistent, you've got to show up, you've got to post all the time. And then when you're sitting there thinking about, well, what do I post about? And you're just staring at a blank screen, I mean, maybe you're having the same problems that I had. And that is, I have no idea what to post and I don't know what to talk about. So I thought I would go over my little photo categories, I guess, that I have created. And also I've got a quiz that you guys can take. It's called what are the best photos for your brand personality? And pretty much you take the quiz and it tells you, based on, these answers of how much you want to be in the business versus not in the business. Then it gives you some examples of the best types of photos that you can incorporate into your marketing strategy and all that stuff. So yeah, check out my quiz. I'll drop a link below. But for now, I just kind of wanted to go over some of the different types of photos that we can talk about, and maybe that'll start getting like some wheels turning on what does that look like for you? What kind of photos should you start making? Okay, so first things first are headshots. All right, headshots they're super simple. I think they're probably one of the easiest types of photos to grasp, like the concept to grasp. It's really just a nice solid shot of you looking at the camera, and you're on a pretty clean background. It's camera aware, meaning that you're aware that a camera's there, you're looking at it and you're smiling, or you don't necessarily have to be smiling, but you do want it to look somewhat approachable or fit at least your brand, whatever that is. So yeah, the first one is headshots. I think those are really great for, any sort of profile photo that you've got, a LinkedIn profile, an about me page, all of that stuff. And again, I go over all of this in the quiz. And so if you want more detailed in and out, here's what it is, go take the quiz, you'll get the results. And we go into the different ways that you can use the photos, and then I'll give you examples of them. Okay. So yes, all right, the next one is, it's kind of a goofy one, but it's one of my favorites. It's what I call me and my best life. So pretty much what that means is you are doing something that you would normally do for your business or for your work, but you're like looking really great while you're doing it. So it's pretty planned, it's staged photo, it's not just like you caught someone and their hair's not done or anything like that. Like you're ready for the photo. For any sort of online business, I would recommend using, like a laptop or an iPhone, or you're writing down notes, anything like that. And just imagine, okay, so you're typing on your laptop and then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, and you just like look up and you're like, oh, you caught me. And so you'll just be like this. That's you living your best life. It's you in the very best instance of working a day in your life, and you're looking great while you're doing it. So those are some of my favorites. They're really great to use on like social media, any sort of social media, blog posts, email headers, anything like that. The next one is behind the scenes. I love this one, especially for artists, because I think that they have a really great process that people want to know what it is. They want to know how they create what they create and like how they do what they do. And so now while they're very similar to like me living my best life, but I'd say they're a little bit more candid, a little bit grittier, and it's really just someone catching you in the moment of you being in like your creative process, doing your thing. And yeah, so for behind the scenes for me, for me living my best life is me looking really good and holding a camera and then just being like, oh, you caught me here. And then a behind the scenes is pretty similar, but maybe it's like I'm actually working, and so I'm not as, put together, and I'm actually taking pictures, or I'm, dealing with a client and kind of like fixing some stuff. So that's what a behind the scenes, or even working on my computer and it's just like drilling into that and doing some editing. So there's a few different ways that you can do behind the scenes. If you are in an online business, you can kind of combine those two categories, the me and my best life and behind the scenes, because it's kind of like the same thing. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just let me know and I can clarify it later. Okay, so for my next one, which is it's pretty important in my mind. So you've got like the first three that are just all about you. Then we start getting into your product or your service or whatever like benefit that you're trying to deliver by someone hiring you. Okay, so if it's a product, then obviously you would shoot the product. And that could be a product of someone holding it or someone using it in some way, or it could just be product by itself. There's also, if there's a service, then you would need to show kind of maybe like you in the act of delivering that service, or you could show a finished result, which would be like your client being happy, or, like what does your client look like now that they have the service that you have, provided them. For me, my finished product are my photos. Okay. So it would be there, like I would be just posting my finished images. If I were like an online coach or like a weight loss coach, this is when before and afters would be really great. Like they would be really helpful to use, especially when you can see like a before transformation and then after transformation shot. If you're like a life coach and you're wanting to deliver confidence, then you're gonna have to show. How I would show that process is maybe you as the coach working with your client or your customer, and then them looking like really happy. Like, so first off, you have like that interaction, so then people can kind of put themselves in that mindset of like, this is what that looks like. But then also you can see, just how like if they're looking happier, if they're looking more confident, whatever emotions that you want to deliver, you're going to try to incorporate those in the photos. And that could be a little bit subjective, but you can totally flesh it out in your captions or descriptions below. You just want to show people happy and like looking like they're glad that they purchased your service, pretty much. Okay. So yeah, just check out those. I really do go into depth for this one, and I think product is in all three of the quiz answers. So just check it out, because it's either product, service, or the emotional result that you deliver. So it's all of those put together. Okay, next is location. Okay, so I know, especially if we're in an online business, just in internet land, it's really easy for you to kind of get lost in it, and you're just like a digital person and you're not like a real person. So sometimes when you bring it back and you're talking about an actual location, like a place that you live, I'm in Denver, Colorado, so I try to bring that up because I want people to know like I'm from the States and I live near mountains, and it's just like I'm a person. So you're bringing them from out of internet land and down back to like planet Earth that we're in. So yeah, check out location. I think that's like a fun way to show like geographically where you're at. Also, if you have a brick and mortar store, you're going to want to show the location of your store just so you can people can get an idea of where you're located, what to expect when they come in, what everything looks like. So you just want to show off your store, show off your shop or whatever. And even if you have a cute little home office nook, more than welcome to post a cute little picture of that. Those are fun, and it's a fun little way for people to get just to get an idea of like what drives you, like what's your creative space look like. And yeah, so it's just a fun little personality thing that people can relate to. Okay, so next on the list, and this is one of my favorites, but it's stock photography. So I know that you can definitely buy stock photography or even have find some free stock photography in places, but I like it when it's personalized to you and to your business and to what you're doing. So what that looks like is maybe some of your favorite things and they're on a table and you're shooting straight down. And or maybe like we talked about earlier with your office nook, and you have a cute little space that you can take a cute picture straight on, and then you can kind of talk about in your captions, this is the area that I like to hang out and this is where I feel the most creative. You could talk about that. Yeah, stock photography, I would start with your favorite things that you like, any sort of props like that, and try to shoot it in different angles and try to show, personality things that you like to do. For me, a big one is always coffee. You know, coffee and wine, I talk about those a lot, and so it's fun to incorporate those into my stock photography. So the next one on the list is personal. I think that personal photos are really important for people to get to know you, to understand who you are. For me, personal looks like photos with my dog, photos with my husband, photos with my family. Yeah, just really trying to show people more of a personality, who they're getting when they're hanging out with me, like what to expect. So I think that people relate really well to more personal shots. They always get the most engagement on Instagram, on Facebook, all of that stuff, because people want to know that you're like a real person and you're not always pushing your business, and they just want to see some personal stuff about it. All right, the next one, this is more of it can be more of an Instagram stories type thing. It's kind of a really easy and low maintenance photo, and I like to call them VIP access. So and it doesn't have to be a story thing. I think the next category is very much a story thing. But this one, it's very easy for you to just kind of like, hey, sneak peek for this, or hey, here's what I'm doing right now, or and so I guess it depends on what the actual photo is, but say you have like a new product coming out and you wanted to give a little hint of what it was, that would be a VIP access photo or a little sneak peek. And I think, they're just like little happies for your followers, and it's just a way for them to be like, oh, I get a little something extra because I am following this person, and yeah, she's showing me like little secrets that not everybody gets to see. So I like VIP access. They're usually pretty casual and really great for graphics, because you could say like coming soon or something like that on there. I think those are fun sneak peeks into the business without necessarily being a behind the scenes. Okay, and then lastly, we're talking about candid shots. Candid shots are really great little quirky ways for you to show who you are, what you're about. You make faces, you could do silly things in them. Those are great for stories. Because they go away. And so you don't have to like fully commit to them. They're just like fun little posts that you can do. That's pretty simple. They're just fun little posts that you can do. Post them up on stories. You can, if you have a really great little candid shot, feel free to put it on Instagram. It's just a different way for people to see your personality, to see, what quirky thing you're into, and to know and trust you more. Okay? So that's really the point of all of my photo categories that I have kind of divided up, is just to show people who you are, what your business is, what you deliver, how you do it, and the kind of person you are, and why you turned into the person that you did. So I think that once, at least for me, it's easier to make captions when I already have the photos. And when I divide the photos up into categories like this, then it's easier for me to take the pictures in the first place. So I divide them up into categories. I take pictures of myself or stock or personal shots or anything like that. I keep them all in a folder, and then when I'm ready to post something, I grab a photo, drop it in Instagram, and then I write the caption right then and there. So that's how I do it. Some people prefer to do captions and then take photos. That's totally up to you, but I guess I just work better visually like that. So I hope that this helped you guys kind of figure out what you need to, start thinking about and dividing your photos up. And then that way you're not just like sitting there staring at a blank screen trying to decide, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? Especially when you batch all your content together, you'll have a whole pool of images. You can just grab one, drop it in, write a little caption, and you're good to go. So yeah. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I am going to move my little YouTube videos until Monday now, and I feel like that works better in the week anyways. So I'm going to skip next week. There will be no little video, but then you will see a video on the following Monday. So stay tuned. That way we can start the week off really strong, doing some photos and branding and all that good stuff. And I will see you then.